Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host, Eric. Going to be getting to some depressing news soon, but then we're going to get to funny memes with my beautiful co-hosts, Quiet Michael LeBune and Andrew Teedy. And now, the news. After an entire week of dealing with the fallout from the Scorpion unit down in Memphis, the protests have remained very peaceful in Memphis and elsewhere for the most part, so that's really nice. But it has escalated on the police side because they have now arrested 7 police officers in conjunction with the death, with more people suspected. So that's coming out fun. Truth Out reports there wasn't a single word in the Pentagon's report devoted to China's role in what will pose the most pressing threat to our security in the years to come, which is runaway climate change. See, runaway climate change is actually a real threat, whereas China, not so much. And runaway climate change, we're going to have to deal with by coordinating with China. And nothing about that risk is in their report because these guys get $1 trillion a year to assess risk, and they're terrible at it. Let's see here. Hey, Barr pressed Durham to find flaws in the Russia investigation. I don't know if you remember this, but they had this special guy, Durham. He said, I want you to investigate the investigators. It ended up in more criminal charges against Trump and against Durham and special investigations of how crappy they handled this investigation. So, once again, every time a Republican tries to do something, we get the opposite. I think it's hilarious. Hey, I just found a way to summarize the news a lot faster. Went to the Talkers 10 over there at Talkers Magazine. If you're not following Talkers Magazine, you are missing out. Top weekly topics. I can do them all here in just a couple seconds. Classified document cases, McCarthy House actions, debt ceiling battle, military aid to Ukraine, Trump legal issues, Meta reinstatement. That's Facebook. Mass shootings. DeSantis education policies, Ticketmaster hearing, Santos drama, Tyre Nichols case, and protests. There was something with NFL, and then a whole bunch of people that have terrible names. Let's see here. The National Archives considering asking past presidents and vice presidents to look again for classified materials, which I think is absolutely freaking hilarious. Let the classified record dick measuring commence. all Clinton, Obama, both Bushes, all of them turned over their classified records when they left.
I want to say something here. Illinoisans are not bothered by this at all. And it's not just because Illinois is largely liberal. It's because in Illinois, it's just normal for once you serve in public office, you immediately go to jail.
Right.
The governor to jail pipeline, senator to jail pipeline, fucking alderman to jail pipeline. It's just the thing you do when you're ready to go to jail. You win political office. So send them all to jail. Fuck if I care. Send Obama too. Biden next. Get his fucking bed ready.
Yeah, I mean, at one point we had 3 governors in jail. And that's why it's very important for Illinois parents. Talk to your children. Talk to your children. Let them know that elections have consequences.
And that right. And that politics is the gateway. It's the gateway vocation to making fucking license plates.
My favorite of all of the former presidents and vice presidents who were going through their old archives looking for classified documents was a spokesperson for Vice President Al Gore. Said, when leaving the White House in January 2001, Vice President Gore and his staff turned over materials to the National Archives in accordance with the Presidential Records Act. No classified materials have been discovered in the 22 years since VP Gore left public office. I just love the subtext on that to Trump with just, Gore spokesperson in your face.
Yeah.
22 years. Oh, man. Again, just today, as we were going to press, the 7th Memphis officer was suspended in the Tyre Nichols death investigation. 5 former police officers in Memphis have been indicted on charges of murder and kidnapping, and that story is still developing, as we know. Body cam footage dropped this week from the Paul Pelosi attack, and I watched a lot of conservatives eating crow because over in the right-wing yellow sphere, they had a weird conspiracy theory that this guy, like DePape, that's what his name is, that DePape was Pelosi's husband's gay lover, I guess, because these two men were baring their legs, and conservatives
with a grateful
have no clue what two men would bare their legs for. Why would you sleep that way? I don't know. I don't even have a thing here. But anyway, it was very strange to watch this. The body cam footage was crazy. They come up on the house, and the cops have Pelosi's attacker in their sights. He has his hand on the hammer when they arrive. And then as soon as they start to move forward, he smacks Paul Pelosi with a hammer. It's absolutely insane. The footage is just nuts. Did you guys see this stuff? The moment that it happened? This whole...
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Just insanity. Now, one of the things, too, is that I also saw this piece patched together with some security footage of DePape walking all around the San Francisco home. He wanders around the backyard, unloads a couple backpacks, goes through every pocket on the backpacks. Oh God, it's so violent. Anyway, absolutely insane. And that's what I'd like to point out here, folks, is that he wandered around unstopped at all. And last time I checked, the Pelosi's have a net worth of somewhere north of $400 million. $400 million. But too cheap to hire a rent-a-cop, okay? Because they don't have that K through 12 elementary school money. What the hell? I'm just absolutely blown away by this. Democrats, the Democrat in chief, so bad at job creation that they can't hire a rent-a-cop. And I'd also like to point out to all you activists out there that are all thinking if we could only figure out what form of lobbying would scare these people into doing something. Well, I'm so sorry, but a guy with a hammer coming to your house doesn't scare them into getting a goddamn rent-a-cop. They're fucking idiots. I got a little excited about that. I apologize. Hey, meanwhile,
just your lizard person.
Thank you. Daryl Johnson was charged. The Iowa man previously convicted in the January 6th attack was also accused of recording women because he's a piece of shit. These people are deluded, crazy pieces of shit. That's what's happening. And literally completely opposite senses of reality. Here's a little thing I've been playing with this week. This is population growth. And see, population growth is net. It's net. You take the births and you subtract the deaths, and then with immigration you take the people that are coming across the border, and then the 1 million Americans who go overseas to live every year. And the funny thing is that when you do that whole calculation of population growth, net immigration, births minus deaths, lo and behold, America's growth rate hits the lowest number of 0.2% in history just after 2020. So when immigration and population growth are at an all-time lowest, what is the number one concern of the conservatives in America? Too much immigration, because they live in an opposite reality. Not just us, though. South Korean intelligence officials have raided the headquarters of the Union Confederation. This is pretty insane. South Korean unions are crying a red scare because the government has scared the crap out of the people so much about commies and North Koreans that they've decided it's okay to go after unions. Because, that's important. Truth Out said South Korea's intelligence agency raided the office of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions, raising fears that the government is reverting to dictatorship-era methods of attacking labor by conflating organizing with threats to national security. So red scares, not just for America, people. Fun stuff. Now, what would really be helpful for the Koreans is if they had a Rupert Murdoch over there with a News Corp and a Fox. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Rupert Murdoch pulled the butt plug on a possible merger of News Corp and Fox. If you're wondering what that would mean, a remerger of the Murdoch empire would be the almost $8 billion Fox television network, the $6 billion Fox News channel and cable news programming, along with Fox Business and some others, the HarperCollins book publishing business worth north of $2 billion, and various newspapers around the world like the Wall Street Journal, the Times, the Sun, the New York Post, pretty much Barron's, Dow Jones, just pretty much every piece of media you could possibly hear. Could be.
Damn, they got Realtor.com?
Realtor.com.
I didn't know
baby.
that.
Your source for news.
Fucking deleting that app. Sorry. Hey, sorry, Obama. I didn't know I was a traitor.
I want you to look at this chart too. HarperCollins Book Publishing is among the top 5, what they call the big 5 that own all publishing. Fox Television is among the top 5 in television. Wall Street Journal is is the number 1 newspaper in the United States. So every time you hear a conservative talk about the dang media, the dang liberal media, I just want you to remember this chart. I just want you to remember the complete and utter domination here and almost complete control of the media. Just a thought. Okay, moving on. Hey, good news. Seattle Times reports from Bloomberg Business, replacing U.S. coal plants with solar and wind is now cheaper than running them. That is right. We have now achieved a technological breakthrough where it is actually cheaper to build new solar and wind than it is to just run crappy old coal power plants that are giving kids asthma. How great is that? Isn't that fun? We might actually maybe do something. I don't know. Hey, in comedian related news, I thought this was absolutely hilarious. Our friend of the show, Kristen Toomey. And if you're not following Kristen Toomey, you are missing out. She is Chicago's funniest comedian and honestly just amazing. She's doing 2 more shows with Kevin Nealon, and I am here for it. I am filled with so much joy. She's just amazing, and you should check her out. Speaking of comedians who have performed in Champaign, friend of the show, George Cruikshank, published basically, I don't know, he's sort of like riffing on Rick and Morty and the whole what's his name fallout with a whole bunch of really, really bad imitations with his little comedy production company, Big Fancy Hollywood Productions. And if you're not following Big Fancy Hollywood Productions, you're not following George. So anyway, they have racked up over 55,000 views in the last 6 days. Giving you a run for your money, TD.
Oh, no, they've whooped me.
On YouTube, no less. Anyway, I would like to point out that a big chunk of that is because they have tapped into a franchise. My most popular video is about The Price is Right. So, guys, I think next week we need to change our show to Survivor Bachelor. Think about it.
I just want our listeners to know this entire segment on our screens, there has been a cartoon picture of a man wearing a lab coat and brown pants with his nutsack all the way out.
All the way out.
All the way out.
Yeah. And this is all about some extremely creepy stuff. I can't remember the dude's name, but he's been canceled and taken off of Rick and Morty. And he literally refers to this girl as jailbait. He addresses her as jailbait. It is horrifying. But George makes it really funny. We always like to close out with an animal story. And look at this, a picture of a cute little baby sloth in a Tupperware box. Look at the little face. Look at the little.
That little shit is adorable.
It is absolutely adorable. I don't know if you guys know, but sloth is my spirit animal.
Word.
Yeah.
This thing looks wrong. It looks bad wrong. Like it shouldn't be here.
Dude,
I don't like its pig nose.
Coming at you, baby. Come in at you.
You just boop the snoot, Michael. Boop the snoot.
I'm just glad these goddamn things are slow. If that thing was fast, I would never sleep.
They have a couple different kinds of sloth in Costa Rica, so I've met them, and they're very lovely people. And I discovered that a mother sloth, if you say the perezosa, that is a big slam. That is a huge insult because the sloth mamas will let their babies fall to the canopy floor and they won't go get them because they're too slow. So it's just like, well, we tried. And people would like talk about it. And I was like, but I really like sloths. And they were like, why do you like sloths? And I was like, because they only fuck once a year for 24 hours.
Oh, brother.
Man, that's a hell of a birthday. I'm just saying. Anyway, I was desperate for some animal stories. Also found this one. Did you know that dead snapdragon flowers look like weird skulls? I thought that was kind of cool. It's little like flower husks, but they look like little weird skulls. And I thought that was pretty metal. I thought that was pretty metal right there. And finally,
fucking metal.
Did you guys know that Tasmanian devils have little babies and they are called joeys? These are little Tasmanian devil joeys. They're just... I'm going to play the crappy music. just running around. They're little, they look about the size of a freaking bunny, like a tiny, I don't even know, like a kitten, size of a puppy. A tiny little thing, and they're Tasmanian devils. Possibly some of the ugliest animals in the world when they're grown up. But look off, they start off so cute. There's just a whole little boy's got a lap full of 5 little Tasmanian devil Joey's just running around on his lap there, just cuddling on him. Oh, there you go. And that has been your heartwarming animal video that is completely inappropriate for a show for blind people. Closing out the news on an episode of Facebook for the Blind for January 31st, 2023. Now handing it over to my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael Labute, with some funny me. Or wait, or did we go to Andrew?
No.
No, it goes to me. But it's not for funny memes. It's for a big, long, round one.
Serious stuff. Oh, big, long. Wait, we do that again. For a big, long, round what? It's important.
And here we go for my big, long, round one. So, this is a picture of like a phone station, except it's been all taped up. Garbage bags been put over it. And there's a sign that says, emergency phone not installed. Please do not have an emergency at this location. I sure hope I don't let you down. Emergency phone not yet installed. This is a picture of what's this fucking guy's name? Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk.
And it's Bab Odenkirk. And he's got pink ribbons in his hair. And he's fixing his cufflinks. And he's looking very debonair. And it says, I post more memes than selfies, because I'd rather see y'all smiling than falling in love.
Nah.
Nice.
Maybe this is not funny. But it did fucking freak me out because I didn't know there was like this. I don't know. This guy's talking about. He talks a lot on his page at Dan Transient, friend of the show at Dan Transient. Dan Transient, we fucking love you. Willie Jack's favorite unk, by the way. So. He thinks in pictures like I do, and I've never like found somebody like even online who talks so much about it as this guy, which I think is really cool. But he retweets someone named Alicia Dones who says, "Can people who can visualize things in their minds, can you visualize your memories as well?" Which to me is just bonkers question. That's what a memory is for me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And he replies, "This makes me wonder. People who think in language." Are your memories in words?
Whoa.
And that's a fucking preposterous thought to me. That like you remember like the best day of your life and it's just a fucking monologue with no pictures. Anyway.
Oh my God. So if you almost died and your whole life flashed before you, is it like a book flipping?
Yeah, do you guys live? Does that last longer for for people who think in language?
So weird.
This is from HB. It says, meeting her family for the first time and her grandmother goes deathly pale and shouts the name of a monster from her country's folklore when she sees you. Kitchen fun with my 3 sons has a picture. I can never remember this gal's name. One of the Golden Girls.
Sophia.
Says, is who, Sophia?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, when someone asks me, when was the last time I got a decent night's sleep? And then Sophia saying, picture it, Sicily, 1912.
I like it.
Feisty Soul Tribe, the group. Says, I was watching the show for about 10 minutes and this lady was listing all of these great things to do for fun. And then I realized that it's one of those religious channels and she was reading a list of sins. Uh-oh. What are you doing over there, little meme? Come back. Dan Het at Dan Het, friend of the show, Dan Het at Dan Het says, I love how a fly will get into your house through a 2mm crack in the bathroom window, but can't find its way out even if you have the side of your house taken off. I got about 3 more for this round.
Okay.
The Inspired Treehouse says, well played. It's a picture of a dad hugging his son. It says, when they drive you crazy all day, they give you a random hug for no reason. Well played, kid. It is fucking manipulation right there. Oh boy. This is a picture of Luigi, with a really big muscles, ridiculous amount of muscles. And we're seeing the back of him. He's holding dumbbells in each hand. He's wearing only a thong. And he's looking back over his shoulder, and he's got a smug look on his face. He's got his green Luigi hat on. And I should note that you can see from behind, you can see his penis hanging down below his knees. And it just says, that's how it is on this bitch of an earth. In case you're wondering, I did send this to Shanklin. The laughing librarian, friend of the show, the laughing librarian, has this like old picture of these two women sitting on a sofa talking, and old painting. And one of them says, again, Henry complained that I have no sense of direction, so I just grab my stuff and write. Shut up, man. That's a fucking tight joke. All right, one more. History for the Witty 2.0 says missed opportunity. And it says the fact that the Christian version of Netflix is called Pureflix and not Crucifix is an absolute tragedy. Kicking it over to you, TD. See what you got for round one.
Thank you.
The wholesome round.
Wholesome round. But I do have to apologize. We will not be doing the often imitated, never duplicated, world famous TD short round one because I just have too many memes this week.
The man is a
Sometimes you got too many memes. Sometimes you got too many memes.
Yep, it just happens. All right. First off, friend of the show, Lex Harmon. She posted a picture of a street sign, and it says Hornytown Road, left, right. Shut up, Obion. And below it, oh shit! It says below the sign. It says this sign has GPS and some other thing I can't see, tracking system on it.
RFID and GPS tracking.
Yes.
Librarians use RFID. That's funny.
Yeah, basically they're tired of people stealing the Hornytown Road sign.
It's hilarious. I would totally steal that sign.
I got one in my garage right now.
Dude, I don't. Your mom takes me to Hornytown. Go back, TD. Go ahead. I'm done.
Won't you take me to
Hornytown? Memes every day. Friend of the show, memes every day. Post a picture of a I'd say early 20s female leaning down in a parking lot next to a car pointing at a license plate that says I heart doggy. And it just says, I thought I was declaring my love for canines. Accidentally told the world I love to back it up. It's a sex innuendo joke.
Nice.
There's a sexual reference about a sexual position there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, next. Here we have Disney After Dark. It's that classic meme where it's Ralph Wiggum sitting in the back of a trolley or some shit. It says, when you take her to the adult toy store and she grabs a cart and whips out her points card, and there's Ralph going, I'm in danger.
That's fun.
I mean, yeah.
You'll live.
All right. Bacon Addicts Anonymous. I am a proud card carrying member. It says even Pooh loves bacon, and it says the Pooh and Piglet live action remake started filming this year, and it's a black bear carrying a wild pig by the scruff of its neck, thinking I'm gonna make a sandwich. And that pig's thinking I'm gonna fucking die.
Nice.
I don't think that pig's thinking much of anything.
Probably not, but. All right, Kira Williams, friend of the show, Kira Williams. She posted a picture of Grogu leaning up against something and just staring very intently. And it says, she said she missed me. Normally that would be a good thing, but she's reloading.
Oh.
And all I'm going to say is I feel this.
That's funny.
All right. I survived the war in Iraq. Acquaintance of somebody. Post a picture. Yeah. Post a picture of father and son working in the garden. And it says a father and son plant claymores in the garden after receiving their third IRS audit letter. They're making booby traps and landmines, civilians.
Oh.
Okay, that was funny in my head. Moving on. What the hell?
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, don't be mad at us, TD. It's your job to make us laugh. It's not my job to make you feel better about your stupid fucking memes.
I'm sorry. Did you say ligama? Okay. Anyway, friend of the show, Deborah M. Says, I bet it would be funny to put a pancake on my cat's face. And it's two pictures. One is a picture, of a cat with a pancake on his face, and then like it zooms in, and it's creepy. So it's like, I bet it would be funny to put a pancake on my cat's face. 2 minutes later, Jesus Christ! I mean, that is haunting. That is haunting.
Fucking evil. It looks like Spirited Away, but somehow scarier. It's fucking bad.
that is like disturbingly hauntingly creepy.
Yeah, I went.
The smile didn't help.
Wow.
Take it away.
That's a good one.
Get out of here.
Super creepy. Thank you.
All right. Millennials are not children. Post the wet hems of Jinkos were a sensory nightmare, and it just says 90s kids looking 90s kids looking exhausted as fuck after dragging around 600 pounds of denim all day. And it's 3 teenage boys circa 96, 97 wearing those big flared leg fucking Jinkos that we all had to have. The way too long wall chain. Oh, dude, you step in a puddle, you're done.
Osmosis would make that fucking water travel all the way up those jeans.
All the way up
those
them
things
jeans.
are 1,000 pounds.
Yes.
I am in this meme.
Oh, dude, I feel that.
From the t-shirt to the chain, the whole picture.
That's you in the far left, isn't it?
Yeah, my hair was a little cooler, but everything else is the same. Just
oh my God, that's your hair.
That's what I'm saying.
It even looks kind of like me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I picked that one and not the one in the middle.
I have seen you wear this t-shirt.
Probably.
The Deftones one. The Deftones t-shirt is like way more my style, but like still, I've always liked Rage, but not going to their shows or anything.
All right,
moving on. All right, Jason Crowley, friend of the show, repost from the Slow Roasted Italian. And it says, I'm not ashamed to admit my knowledge of opera begins and ends with a handful of Bugs Bunny cartoons. And it's a picture of Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny dressed in opera Viking attire, dancing and, getting ready to go smoochy smoochy. And this is true. Anything I know operatic comes from cartoons.
With my spear and magic helmet. Spear and magic helmet. Spear and magic helmet. Dude, I have a special request. I would like you to send this to George.
Yes, done.
For those of you who have not seen George perform, there's a 95% chance he will open the show by singing opera, then claiming that it classes things up. And we have all sung along with it because we all know it from Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
We've asked him to stop. He's not going to stop.
He'll never stop it. He'll never stop it.
I said to Chelsea one time, I was like, do you remember that night that we were all in the back of the bar and there was like 12 people singing along note for note, Italian? And Chelsea's like, I was one of them.
So was I. It was a Clark bar, wasn't it?
Yeah. And she goes, if you think you've heard it a lot, imagine how many times I've heard it.
Right.
And I realized
he ends that set by singing Kansas too.
Yes,
You used to do that. Yeah, it's true. Off key.
Yeah,
off key Kansas, but on key.
Off.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks. I feel better now. I needed to get those.
I'm glad, man. Glad we could help. All right. Samantha Sam Wiedemann posts a picture of a very large bovine. That's cow for you non-farming folks. And it says, proof, eating salad all day does not make you skinny. And that's funny because cows only eat grass and corn.
4 stomachs. Wonder what that feels like. 4 stomachs of rotting grass.
I'm jealous that they have so many stomachs. I can get a lot of stuff accomplished with 4 stomachs.
Cow tipping's still a thing here. I don't know about where you guys are from, Jax. I don't know about in Memphis, but up here, yep, we got some cow tipping. You guys ever been cow tipping?
How much are you supposed to tip?
State champion 99.
No shit. I was never really clear, but here on the South Farms, we got an ag university and stuff. And we went to go cow tipping and I broke a window on the cow.
The fuck?
You guys don't know we have cows with windows in them? Okay, that's a champagne joke.
No, I get it. I've been to farm shows. George Crookshank, speaking of George, friend of the show, friend of the universe.
His ears must be burning.
You're right. Post a repost from Mean Muggin, and it's a crying meme dude with a hard hat on saying, stop giving me your toughest battles. And then it's a meme version of White Jesus. And it says, dude, you ate 38 jalapeno poppers. Of course you shit yourself at work.
As you reap, so you will sow at work.
All I'm gonna say is I don't think that's all that funny.
That's a hot joke. That is a burn hot joke right there.
Thank you.
Hold on now.
All right. This is the last one I got for round 1. Mirthfully bringing this turkey in. Friend of the show and my cousin Jason Dobson says this would be an interesting game, and it's a picture of someone holding up like a little Rubbermaid container of brownies, and it says, warning, these brownies are for shits and giggles. Some have laxatives, some have pot.
Just eat them all.
Oh my god. This is the most creative version of Russian roulette I have ever seen.
Sizemore, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be down.
That's
hilarious. Dude, just eat them all and shit yourself into the stratosphere. Just fucking
I'm seeing wheel of brownies. Like a Russian, like a roulette wheel. Oh god, what a party that would be.
Get like a lazy Susan and just have it like brownies laid out amongst the thing.
Oh my god.
All right, Eric, let's see your holes.
Ridiculous.
Go, Sizemore, go.
Ridiculous.
TD, Marty Bagley, Cara Day, SB for TB, Maggie Mayfield.
What?
He was speaking in tongues, bro.
Am I still sharing? Good. So,
yeah.
Friend of the show, the Heimlich Society, got a picture of a cat here, a little silhouette, and it says, having cats in the house is like living with art that sometimes throws up on the carpet.
Fuck my cat, man.
It's true. It really, I think the vomit makes you appreciate the art more. I wonder if museums should try that. I don't know.
Fucking hate my cat.
I'm not a fan of my cat either.
What? Cat hate.
I mean, I love him.
Yeah.
I just don't like him.
Well, he'd eat you.
He would.
So, I mean, whatever. Next off here, we've got Manisha Yeager. Manisha Yeager posts a picture of a woman behind a veil, sort of looking out, sort of somberly, and it's entitled, "The Oranges in My Fridge, Watching Me Take Out Another Kit Kat for Dessert." Looking through the net, judging.
That's great.
I liked it. For the wholesome round, going with comedian Matt Alano Martin. If you're not following friend of the show, Matt Alano Martin, you are missing out. Said, my wife rolled her eyes, but genuinely proud of this. I'm also heavily sedated and haven't eaten solid foods in 48 hours. He says, just had my first colonoscopy screening, and my doctor's name was Dr. Kunari, thus making her the canary in the colon. Mine. That's some straight up dad level humor there, man.
How am I not a father but love dad jokes more than both of you?
Oh my God, here's something construction related. So we get a call at work to remove graffiti from wall. And when we get there, we find this. And we were so impressed, we cut out the drywall to preserve this work of art. Construction crew cut out this piece and framed it and took it away. It is a picture of a helicopter with a man descending on a cable. But if you look closely, every part of this helicopter is a dick. The propellers on top are very large, long dicks. The body is made out of numerous dicks in the shape of a helicopter. The propeller on the back, the rotor is 4 spinning dicks. The guy descending on a cable is a dick with little feet and goggles, which is a little odd, but okay. And it's firing a dick missile. And I mean, I gotta tell you, I get why these guys saved this.
Oh yeah,
It's awesome. Love it.
It's I mean, that took time. I mean, that took a sketch ahead of time, don't you think? I don't think you could just I don't think you could just pop that on a wall.
No, he practiced that sucker.
I think you had to work up to that. I mean, you don't just, that's not your first stroke. That's
Right.
You did a whole bunch of practice strokes before you did that.
Hey, would you say this is a dictacopter or like a helicopter?
Helicopter.
I titled it Dickcopter.
Dickcopter. I think I also like, well, no, and then millennials are not children, call it an attack helicopter.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we should think. We'll get back to you, audience, next week.
It looks like it's supposed to be a UH-60 Blackhawk. So the person that did this obviously knows helicopters.
Yeah.
So a BB copter, a BBC copter.
I just feel like it's it's right there.
So close. So close. You are 6 Wordle tries away from this.
Right. Exactly. I'll get it. Sometimes you gotta walk away.
That's true. Following up on last week's hot meme, C Cat posts, I listened to Pink Floyd just once and now I'm gay. There's a picture of a somber kid in the shadows with his head in his hands and elbows on his knees, like, oh. Posted from Aborted Dreams with a little rainbow. And then it's got a fake ad council logo down in the corner. I listened to Pink Floyd just once. Now I'm gay. Good. You all know how much I love just a good headline. WICS ABC News Channel 20 right here says Fireball, which has a bottling plant in Lewiston, is being sued for not having whiskey in the mini bottles of the fiery drink. Just to recap, Fireball don't contain whiskey, any whiskey. And I had this discussion last night with Sophie, one of my favorite bartenders, and she explained that they like changed some letters on it, so it's like whiskey, but it's not whiskey. What?
No.
I was like, that is a team with good lawyers. Those are good lawyers.
Ballsy lawyers.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. I got about 2 more left and throwing it back to you. 3 more left. This one's another old guy joke. Friend of the show, Michael, not you, says, speaking of Halloween, we have an old man telling 2 children a little story here back in an olden time painting. It says, back in my day, eggs and toilet paper were so abundant, we used to throw them at the houses of our enemies. Oh yeah, I remember that. This next one's from Father Nathan Monk, friend of the show. Father Nathan Monk, you're not following Father Nathan Monk, you are missing out, and we are serious about that. She reposts Dirt Prince at pants_leg. A man in Whole Foods asked how I was doing, and I said, okay, how are you? And he said, it is beautiful in my soul today. And that's why I never go to Whole Foods.
Yeah, that's why.
And finally, closing out the wholesome round, just white text on a black background says, don't argue with people on social media. Every classroom had a kid that ate paste. That's probably who you're arguing with.
I resemble that remark.
And that's the close of my whole round 1.
Keeping the whole and wholesome for the wholesome round. We're moving on to round 2. Trash Can Paul. He has a picture of Don Draper, who's clearly drunk and clearly presenting to clients. And there's a whiteboard next to him, and it says, "Gentlemen," trash can says, "Gentlemen, start your engines." And we see on the whiteboard, Don Draper is proposing NASCAR, but all the drivers are wasted. Listen, I would fucking watch it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah.
Christian Nightmares, friend of the show, Christian_Nightmares. Christian Nightmares, we're afraid of you. Has this picture of Greg Locke, enemy of the show, villain of the earth, Greg Locke, who's on the cover of this movie poster. And the movie is titled "Come Out in the Name of Jesus." I'm sorry. "Come Out in Jesus' Name."
Oh, that's funny.
And subtitled "The Most Important Awakening in Church History Has Begun." But God, are they fucking tone deaf.
I just got to say too, I'm not exactly understanding why, but this is the worst movie poster I've ever seen.
Everything about
like there's a dark house thing in the background, but it doesn't seem ominous or compelling in any way, shape at all. There's orange, ominous colors in the sky over on the other side, but I again don't care.
There's too many guys speaking into microphones on the poster for some reason. Yeah, this is just dog shit. Love you, Christian Nightmares. This is a nightmare, and it's Christian. You're right.
Yeah, and that's just too many white guys with microphones. I agree.
This is a picture of Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie is chugging honey, like Winnie always does. And the honey is labeled "alone time," and Pooh is labeled "me, an introvert." This is from Andrew C. Francis, who says, "Breaking: Lizzo has pulled Excalibur from its stone and laid claim to all of Britain." I got about 4 more for this round. Mason Meninga. At Mason Meninga, probably. He's a friend of mine, actually. I know this guy, but I do not know how to pronounce his last name. Mason says, "I'm sorry, but you don't get to complain about cancel culture if you literally believe in hell."
Oh, check and mate.
Yeah, that's a solid argument right there. Wow. I don't remember this guy's name, but he was in what's that little turd guy, Joe Dirt, who played he played Joe Dirt. Can't think of his fucking name.
Well, David Spade is in this movie, but this is Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, but what's the character's name? Fucking
Gronk.
Groot. What? Gronk. This fucking guy. He's got an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other, and the devil is saying all cops are bastards, and the angel says, "Yep, all cops are bastards." 2 more.
Hilarious.
Jesus memes for liberation has 4 types of headaches. The first one is a migraine. Picture of a guy, and there's the red spot behind his eyes and the front of his head. Hypertension is the back. There's the guy's head with the back of his head is red. Stress, it's like the back of his head, and wrapping all the way around his forehead is red. And then there's a picture where his whole head and neck is red. And this headache is labeled "hearing, quote, America is a Christian nation," end quote. And my last meme for round 2, not the penultimate round. What is round 2?
The irreverent round.
The irreverent round. The rev and irreverent. Dumb Bitch Juice, friend of the show, Dumb Bitch Juice. Brian J. White, they're retweeting Brian J. White, who says, "Dear 30-something lady with license plate M4M for bear." That's right. License plate M4M for bear. I am sorry. I am sorry Mama Bear was taken, but you have made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
All right, translate that for the straights, the old people. Come on.
Hail for Mary. Male for bear. So a bear is often a guy a lot like Petey.
Sure. Yeah, they look like me.
And,
smaller ones are called otters. Yeah, I got you.
He's driving around saying that this is
M for M bears.
This is it's two men looking for a bear to make their third.
That's hilarious. Come be our throuple. Come help us with our throuple. Sweet.
Kick it over to you, Petey.
Kicking it over to Petey with the irreverent round 2.
We can do that. So someone has posted a picture here of a gentleman in a sauna bent over, and he's wearing he's fully clothed, but if you notice, the picture says this man is in a sauna in jeans and a damn sweater. Low-key worried. But then Green Valley Grower comments, are we just going to gloss over the fact that he's got shoes or socks and sandals on, huh? Because if you notice, dude has got sandals, socks, jeans, and a sweater on in a sauna.
Does he live up there in Minnesota?
He'd have to.
I've gotten cold down in my bones. I mean, I'm not writing this guy off entirely. Yeah, it's weird, but
right.
He's on a bender. That's the guy.
Like, he's nuts, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, right on.
All right. Next up, we got from my friend of the show, Jason Crowley, once again, and he's got a picture of a sticky note with a flying saucer on it, and it's stuck on a piece of tape. And there's another sticky note that's pointing at the picture of the UFO. It says UFO caught on tape. There you go. I knew it was a slow burner. All right.
So, yeah. That's a funny one now.
There you go. All right. House of Geekiness. Post a picture of this flatbed semi-trailer hauling what appears to be a ginormous laundry basket full of clothes, like the size of a bus, ginormous. And it says, when you've ignored your laundry for weeks. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Dude, if you could drive that, I would drive that laundry basket. That looks cool.
Right? Because it's got wheels on it like a bus. I mean, it's like the Oscar Mayer Weenie mobile, but it's a laundry basket.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what you would advertise with that, but I'd still drive it.
Tide Pods.
I wonder how many cats would come and join you in that thing. Just
dude, all the cats. You'd have all the pussy cats.
Just staring out the little squares on the side. I can see it. Fun times. Next up, All You Can Eat post this picture of a plate of food, and I'll describe it here in a second. It says, I cooked a beautifully medium rare steak in butter, garlic, and wine. Then I cut it up and mixed it in to a dollar store box of knockoff Kraft dinner, and then I put it on a paper plate. I did this because of marijuana. And it is exactly what he says. Chunks of really nice steak mixed up in generic macaroni and cheese. I mean, I'd eat it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm totally eating it.
That's interesting. That reminds me, some comedian was saying, you know how you can tell soup is the worst food? Because nobody ever says, hey, this steak is great. Can I get some crackers to add to this?
I love soup.
I love soup too with crackers, but you know, he's right. He's got a point, but I hadn't thought about mac and cheese. And I'm thinking like, all right, I'm going to stop thinking about this. We're moving on.
Yeah, I'm going to end up trying that.
All
right. Samson Axel at Literal Rats says, Rick and Morty continue without Justin Roiland. Panic at the Disco disbanding, and this is the worst day ever for the 36-year-old at the smoke shop that dates high schoolers.
Clerks.
Yeah.
This is the worst day at Vape World ever.
I always think of Pineapple Express when they make jokes about those kind of guys.
Yes.
He's like, she's 18. I think it's consensual.
Wow.
That's so bad. That's bad.
That's so bad, man. So bad, man. All right, moving on from this filth. Memes every day. Front of the show, memes every day. It says strippers always used names of expensive things like Diamond or Mercedes. Nowadays, DJs be like, please welcome Gas and Eggs to the main stage.
Oh.
As a guy who's been to many of these places, can confirm.
2 egg chains.
Yeah. Kaylee Marie Bonnet posts a picture from Gray Fox, and it says egg prices. And it just says beef jerky responding. And it's a picture of Shaggy from the live action Scooby-Doo movie going, are you challenging me? Because we all know eggs are expensive, but beef jerky is ridiculous. I love beef jerky. I mean, I love the kind of guy that lives exclusively off beef jerky.
Nice.
Yeah, moving on. Baking Well Baked at Couchman Bakes on Twitter. Please go follow him. It says, just to let you all know, the Amish Powerball is up to 6 dozen eggs.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I believe I acquired that one from Jester.
Nice.
Let's see. Yes, Deborah M, friend of the show. Deborah M says, nobody, not a damn person. Lost Boys writers. You know what this movie needs? And it's a picture of Timmy Capello, also known as the shirtless saxophone player from the movie The Lost Boys, that was wearing 14 gallons of baby oil thrust in his hip, making sweet, sweet love to that saxophone. Also, in real life, Tina Turner's saxophone player.
Oh, yeah. I knew him from the Tina Turner movie, or the Tina Turner music videos, man.
Yeah.
Shirtless saxophone guy.
He was slightly out of place in this movie, but I guess they actually explain what he is in a comic book that just came out about a year ago from Image Comics. He's actually a mystical being called the Believer.
Well, before I knew that, he was a role model.
Well, there you go. All right, moving on. Miss Self-Destruct posts a picture of a young mother feeding her little boy a bottle, but if you look closely, that bottle is a can of Monster Energy drink, and it just says, drink up, Kyle, you need to grow big and strong enough to punch holes in drywall. My younger brother's name is Kyle. That's all I'm saying.
Fun.
Yeah, fun. Hey, since we didn't laugh at it the first time, I accidentally put it in here twice because I was really tired when I was laying out my memes today. Bacon Addicts Anonymous once again shows that picture of a brown bear with a pig. If you guys have a better joke, this is your turn. The Pooh and Piglet live action remake started filming this year. Okay, what do you got, smart boy?
All I would have say is you doubling down was all I needed. That was actually what it took.
Yeah, that was funny.
No, I mean, in all honesty, that's just a brilliant coincidence that it bombed the first time, because I really was just so tired when I was putting my memes together this afternoon that I just brain farted and put it in here twice.
I am super curious though. When I'm looking at this little, piglet here, I'm hearing him sing though, Hakuna Matata. I don't know why.
He does look a little Pumbaa-esque.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata. I'm getting eaten.
I just guarantee this pig is not going wee all the way back to the bear's home.
Well, this is technically bear market right here. Just
yeah, there you go.
You're still our favorite bear.
Yep.
Still our favorite.
Yep.
It's true. All right, moving on. I think I redeemed myself. All right, this is the last one I got for round 2 here. One cranky old man group, friend of the show. My membership is pending. Anyway, it says it's not considered drinking alone if your dog is there. Me, how was your day, boy? Dog, rough. Mine too. Let's have a beer.
Nice.
That was a really churched up dog says rough joke.
Yes. And have I used any of my dogs like Trixie here to do that very thing? Absolutely.
Nice. Got doing a round two here. Round two, the irreverent round, and I'm bringing up one of my favorite irreverent quotes from H.L. Mencken, who said, nobody ever went broke underestimating the taste of the American public. And if you Google this, you will find 15 different permutations.
Whoa.
Because nobody ever went broke overestimating the taste of the American public. Nobody ever went broke overestimating the intelligence of the American public. Nobody ever went broke underestimating the taste of the American public. Every permutation possible, and it just becomes meaningless after a while, but I still love my H.L. Mencken. This next one's for TD. It is the nutritional label on the back of a pack of bacon, and it says ingredients, pork, water, sugar, and circled under the cooking instructions, it says pan fry slowly on low medium heat until bacon renders and is cooked to your desired crispiness. If you really don't know how to cook bacon, please contact your elected officials and complain about our educational system. Every American should know how to cook bacon. Seriously.
I mean, yes, I approve this message.
That's the kind of labeling I want on my food in America. Shit that makes people feel dumb. Wants them to think about education. That's what I want. And then you can eat tasty bacon. Moving on, friend of the show, Nick Brody at Brody post, the professor moral panic over Chat GPT will subside when they all start using it to write letters of rec. If you guys are familiar with the AI chatbot that is writing novels and writing all kinds of material out there.
Is that what this Chat GPT is? I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and I just didn't think it was something I needed to know yet.
Yeah, it is. They show those little things of how long it took for like cell phones to go 1 to a million, 1 to a billion, and cable TV to go 1 to a million and 1 to a billion and whatever. Chat GPT beat everything. Chat GPT went to a million in like less than 3 days. It went to 1 billion in like, I don't know, less than a month. It's insane.
Jesus.
It has now written so much content you wouldn't believe it. Several places like CNET have decided to use it as a writer. There are other people to write news stories for them. All kinds of videos have cropped up on how to use this thing to write all kinds of things. I don't know if I told you all this, but I plugged away in there and just said, hey, write me a 16-line poem welcoming my students back for the semester. And it did. You can just write poetry on command. And it's pretty astounding. Anyway, fun stuff. The professor's moral panic over Chat GPT will subside when they all start using it to write those letters of rec. They're so annoying. Moving on. Speaking of technology, here we have this gentleman whose name I forget, but it's the black man in the yellow suit rubbing his hands and staring out from behind a tree. And it's posted by our friend Clay Foley, and it says, comedians that missed out on TikTok hearing about those possible TikTok bans. Yeah. And one of Clay's conservative friends, I assume, Richard, says, as crazy as it sounds, and as much as it pains me to agree with anything Josh Hawley has to say, this TikTok ban is an insanely good idea. And I believe that what he's talking about is that TikTok has now been banned from several state government telephones. Like they're like, you cannot have TikTok on your phone if it's a state phone. And I'm like, because of Chinese spying or something. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. Or trying to make government workers, work harder than regular people who have TikTok on their phone. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I thought it was funny. Clay got a lot of response on that one too. Hey, so this week I did some. I was poking around. I was doing some research into like economics, and I ended up with this guy who was like a criminal justice statistician, which sounds really boring and everything. But as I kept reading about him to find out if he was a credible source for my criminal statistics, I found out that he'd written several controversial books, and I thought you should know about this one. This one's called "In Defense of Flogging" by Peter Moskos. And that is a whip. That is some kind of like a writer's crop type of whip there. And he makes a very good case that prison or fines really delay punishment. You know what I mean? But flogging, instantaneous, and you can televise it. I gotta tell you what, I found it very compelling, just from reading about the book. I was like, I am firmly against capital punishment, except in the case of guillotining the rich, but flogging. Anyway, next time you see an idiot on TV, just think about it. What if we had flogging? Would this
I'm
deter?
for it.
I know, right? I want to try it. Hey, speaking of people who might need a flogging, so Matt Gaetz, it had this little story breaking after years of lobbying the U.S. Postal Service. Of course, Gates' forehead registered for a zip code. Is how I captioned it. The halfway post passes along breaking. Matt Gaetz has dropped his lawsuit of the man who gave him the nickname Rapey McForehead after he realized the trial would publicize his ongoing sex trafficking allegations, as well as publicly disclose the length and height of his forehead. And it's so funny too, because I use a lot of buttheads, when I talk about Gates, but butthead's forehead is like way smaller than Matt Gaetz. Like, think about that just for a second. The cartoon caricature has a smaller, more human-sized forehead than Matt Gaetz. Hey, also, did you know that he grew up in the house that was in the Truman Show? Did you guys know that? The Truman Show? Yeah. The house where Truman, who grows up living on TV, he grew up in a house of a person living on TV. Did I sign from God? I don't know. Moving on. This is a tweet from Rena Martin and Reed Galen. Oh, sorry, it is at Mayo is Spicy, who says, rumor has it that Marjorie Taylor Greene's nickname around the Capitol is Cock Goblin. Sounds legit to me. You know who else it sounds legit to? George Santos. Steve Hart passes along this picture of him sitting next to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if you follow the eye lines, Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing that look you do, like when you're trying to see if you've got like something on your chest, like, oh, you've got something on your chest. And you're like, I do. And George Santos is pointing at her boobs. And it's captioned, they were made for each other. But yeah, you can't unsee this without a little shudder. But I think George heard that her nickname was Cock Goblin. Said, I'm going to sit next to her. Andy Borowitz posts, RuPaul fears association with George Santos could harm the drag queen industry. Passed along in the United for Bernie 2 progressive news, and it's just a picture of RuPaul looking very concerned about George Santos and the harm that he could do to their industry.
Very disgruntled RuPaul is the name of my punk rock band.
He looks sassy and pissed off, is what I think. Or she, I'm not really sure. They, I don't know his pronouns. Friend of the show, Joe Klosek. If you're not following Joe Klosek, you are missing out. Says, it's obvious why George Santos never made it as a drag queen. His balls are huge. Untuckable. Moving on here to Dustin Haller, friend of the show. Dustin Haller passes along Leah Bilko Curry, who has the traditional, balloon writing on the wall and the guy standing next to it, except this guy is in drag. And it says in big pink neon balloons, the biggest danger of taking your child to a drag show is that a Christian could show up with a gun.
Yeah.
I think is hilarious. And finally, for my last of the irreverent round, that was it. Sorry. Hey, with a gun and clothes. Take that out in post.
My ass.
Your ass is too big to take out in post.
Well, thank you.
Oh, back to
All
Michael
right.
with round 3, the penultimate round.
Starting with Brutal Recovery, friend of the show, friend of the world. Brutal Recovery at Brutal Recovery. It's a picture of a bunny holding a Morningstar mace.
Ooh.
Not mace. What is it? Is it Morningstar? What else would you call this thing?
Flail.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Spiky flail. Yeah. Medieval. Yeah. Spiky ball on a chain with the stick.
Yeah. Anyway. And it says divinely protected, but not taking any chances. Very cute, sober bunny. Here's another exact same picture. Really, really cute bunny holding a flail Morningstar. It says fragile, but we'll still fight. Sticking with that theme, this is a picture of a vibrator with thumbtacks all over it, and it says from Glow Fuck Yourself, friend of the show, Glow Fuck Yourself, and it says about to watch Hellraiser with a full immersion experience.
Oh.
Moving on.
Hey, Michael, I just got to ask you, I've seen a theme here. Are your balls okay? Any spikiness?
Listen, things could be better. Glow Fuck Yourself is back at Big Pharma's
He's
Adderall meeting. Big Pharma's first Adderall meeting, and Big Pharma's pitching meth, but for children. Glow Fuck Yourself again, and this is a picture of a kid about to hit the television with a chair. On the television, they're watching Dragon Ball Z, and it says atheist Dragon Ball fans when they see Goku go Super Saiyan God instead of Super Saiyan Science.
That's funny.
Next up, we have Christian Nightmares, who are back. And this is at a sign, looks like next to an elevator. And it says, sometimes God may want to do something in you before he does something for you. And seriously, Christians, we need you to make just one non-Christian friend. Just one. Middle class fancy, friend of the show, friend of the world, middle class fancy. What other kind of fancy is there? Has Helena that they're retweeting, who says restaurants are obsessed with putting a scoop of ice cream on a brownie and being like, oh my God. I got two more for this, the penultimate round 3. Memes. Friend of the show, memes. We literally wouldn't have a show without you, memes. It's very classic at this point. Classic meme format of the young woman in a red dress, a guy looking over his shoulder, checking her out, holding hands with a girl in a blue shirt who looks very offended. The guy checking the girl out is labeled my testosterone. The girl in the red dress who he's checking out is labeled leg hair. And the very offended girlfriend is labeled facial hair. I just want to say this is what my puberty was like. And my adulthood. All right. Last up, we have this text exchange between Representative Eric Swalwell and enemy of the show, Ted Cruz. Eric says, I will make this open bet to Ted Cruz. If the Dallas Cowboys beat the 49ers, I won't tweet for the rest of January. If the 49ers win, you can't tweet for the rest of January. How Texan are you, Ted? Deal? Ted Cruz says, how about we bet a Chinese dinner instead? And Representative Eric Swalwell replies, tough Cowboys loss. I haven't seen a Texas defense collapse like that since the state's junior senator was asked to defend his wife against Donald Trump. Go Niners.
Damn. How do you recover from that?
You just go to Mexico. You do what you always do. You go to Mexico and wait for it to blow over.
I hope he goes.
Kick it over to you, TD.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was great, bro. That was totally great. All right, there you go, TD.
Okay, we got my round 3 here. We're gonna finish this sucker off mediocre. All right, TT at infringible rights or something. I don't know. Says adulthood is just sex, depression, and bills. And it's that kid standing in front of a camper or a bus, and it's just labeled me, and he's going, "You guys are having sex?"
Nice.
I'm just saying. All right, moving on. It's just fucking princess. Posts a picture of a butter knife, and it says, "Where I come from, this is also known as a flathead screwdriver." Yeah, solid.
Just like every coin in my pocket.
Yep, can confirm. All right, next up. What's that?
I said, just like that fingernail I keep breaking.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on to the next one here. Friend of the show, Jason Jester. You thought I forgot about him. It says this could be a casserole, could be spaghetti. Who knows? Because it's a piece of crockery, big old casserole dish, and it just says the lid says "Tomb of the Unknown Leftovers." I feel this. I need this in my kitchen.
That's pretty good.
Tomb of the Unknown Leftovers.
That's fantastic.
Take a chance. Let's live. All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Kostaki Economopoulos, the biggest name in the biggest name in comedy. Says my little niece asked me why is his body so little, and now I can never unsee it. And it's the KFC logo with the Colonel, and he got his little tie on. But this little girl notices that tie looks a lot like a stick figure body, so it looks like a little bitty body, big fucking mascot head.
Dude, you guys think it's bad for this guy who can never see it? That's my dad. My dad
KFC, KFC stands for king size fucking cranium.
Yeah. What's it like to have a dad with the body? Is this what his body's really like?
Yeah, your dad had skinny little legs like this.
That's what his ties really like. Every time I see him in a tie, it looks like a little body hanging below his little chest. I don't know, it's not weird. Oh, weird.
For those of you new to the show, Sizemore's dad looks like Colonel Sanders.
Sizemore's dad is Colonel Sanders. Literally, people ask me about the Colonel. Like, he goes to other Colonel meetings. He's like the top Colonel. He's like the chief Colonel. I don't know what you call it.
Colonel.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's spicier. It's like extra crispy Colonel.
Oh, there you go. Nashville hot Colonel.
There you go.
Yeah. Moving on. Morgan Cameron Ross posts a picture of Wendy's restaurant. It says, remember the oddly nice sunrooms that Wendy's used to have? And if you're a kid of a person of a certain age, yeah, they used to have like these cool little green room, sunroom type things at the front of the restaurants. Burger King had them too, I think.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yep. Yeah, they're great. That's always where the old ladies always would sit. Whenever I'd go to a restaurant, there'd be a bunch of like old blue hairs hanging out in the sunroom.
Good times.
Yeah. All right, next up. Bellyful posted a little cartoon drawing of a stack of pancakes. Says pancake mix is too thick. Add water. Pancake mix is too runny. Add mix. Pancake mix is too thick. Add water. Feeds family 120 pancakes. Yes. Yes.
Well done.
Yeah. Or 5 really large pancakes.
I just want to say, if you guys ever make 120 pancakes, I will be there for you.
Oh yeah, I'm here if you need me. I will drive to Minnesota, Levion.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, this is something I posted. What's up?
Yeah.
Is that all it takes? Deal.
Yes.
All right, you heard it. We're splitting gas.
I'll bring the bacon. Sizemore, you bring the coffee.
All right. Oh, thank God you didn't sign me up for eggs.
I don't eat eggs. I don't think about them. All right. Moving on. I posted this about a year ago. It's something I posted from Res Judicate. And it says, got my Ancestry.com results back. And it's just a box of Trader Joe's cracker assortment. My DNA, my Ancestry.com results, cracker assortment. Wow. Saying I'm really fucking white. Okay, moving on. I'm not even white. I'm Caucasian.
What'd you say?
No, Caucasian.
Okay.
All right. Weird Walrus, acquaintance of the show, says not all heroes wear capes, and it's a picture of Leatherface from the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it says, mind blown. Every single person killed in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was trespassing on private property in Texas. They went inside the house. By state law, Leatherface was not only innocent, he was a hero.
God. Nice.
Just think about that for a minute.
Nice.
All right, moving on.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, dude. Belly full once again. Just posted a picture of a couple of Thin Mint cookies. 'Tis the season. It says the true measure of strength is being able to open a box of Thin Mints without eating the whole sleeve. I am not a strong person because I devour the whole fucking box in one hit.
I keep reading these words, but I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, no one has ever just opened up the sleeve, grabbed a couple of Thin Mints, and walked away. You're at least eating the whole sleeve, if not the whole box. Don't lie.
Sometimes the sleeve.
Yeah.
Suckers are good.
Have you ever put them in the freezer for a little bit? Oh my God, they're so good.
Oh yeah. No, I had a Girl Scout kid, so yeah, I had a freezer full of them for the rest of the year. So I didn't go into withdrawal.
Right. All right, next up, we got Jarrett Hornback, friend of the show, and another one of my cousins. He posted a picture of the dark side of service, and it's Dale Gribble from King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I really think it's time to take warning labels off everything and let stupidity work itself out. Almost a direct quote from Sizemore about 20 minutes ago.
That's actually that was me paraphrasing Michael Matthews.
Well, there you go. Great minds, motherfucker. All right.
We need to stop padding sharp edges, and we need to put regular, easy to take off caps on medicines.
Yes. And take the safeties off firearms.
Aw.
All right. Jason Jester says, don't even need a concealed carry card because it's a picture of a little duck hanging out in a sleeve of someone's sweatshirt. And in the second picture, you just see the hand and the duck right at the palm of the hand just screaming. And then again, we have our buddy Dale Dribble, and he just goes, pocket goose. And he's like throwing a goose out of his sleeve at somebody.
That would work. If you goose at me,
Geese are psychopaths. They're feathery psychos.
Yeah. And
avian menace.
Yeah, and their shit goes everywhere.
Oh God, it's so bad. All right, moving on.
I got attacked by a goose last spring. It actually it bit my calf and drew blood.
All right, so a pocket attack goose, there might be a market for that, you said.
Yeah, I'm thinking I need concealed attack geese. Pocket goose. All right, moving on.
And Nan would write us a testimonial.
Yes.
Terrifying.
It's scary as hell. Okay, Chad Williams, friend of the show, posted a picture of the late great Burgess Meredith from the movie Grumpier Old Men. And it says, whenever I have a panic attack, I put a brown paper bag over my mouth and drink all the bourbon inside. It seems to help.
I love Burgess Meredith. Thabo.
And yeah, that's a good coping device I've taken advantage of many times. All right. And finally, the last one I got for round 3 here, friend of the show, Jason Jester, once again. And he says, I can never unsee this, and now neither will you. And on the top picture, we have the vampire from the classic movie Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
And then right below Nosferatu, we have Ellen DeGeneres. And they basically have the same fucking face.
It's disturbingly similar.
Yeah, one picture has a blood-sucking monster, and the other one has a cinematic classic.
Wait, this Ellen DeGeneres is not an enemy of the show, is she?
She's a bitch.
She's supposed to be very mean. She's supposed to be very mean to her staff.
Hey, I'm not her staff shit. I can separate the art from the artist.
Okay, but there hasn't.
When you go to a Louis C.K. and a Bill Cosby show, then. Oh
no.
Hey.
No. Here, Michael, your homework assignment for next time is to come up with a joke that she's told that was funny enough as art to balance out her going to a baseball game with George W. Bush.
No, I didn't say that I love her because she's funny. I like her dancing.
Oh, I forgot you're white. I mean, you are so white. Oh my God.
He makes me look like I have a tan.
Wow.
No, but look, all kidding aside, I don't give a fuck about Ellen DeGeneres. And I also want to say that it's really important that we not just brush past the fact that her ears are exactly like Nosferatu's.
Oh yeah,
vampire
well,
day.
yeah. Like I said, there was no exaggeration. Like, bitch looks like a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Eric, you calling me white feels a little like the devil calling me evil. Like,
Aw, thank you. Thank you so much. I love you, Michael.
I love you too, buddy.
All right, doing the round 3, getting to our post with the most. But first, the funny memes. Yeah, that's right. This is from friend of the show, Lex. Remember Lex, seeing Lex at the Pig? She says, yeah, I'll suck his dick, but like in a God-fearing way.
I think I actually heard her use that in a conversation once.
It rolls off her tongue. It really does. Just rolls right off. Friend of the show, Charlie, says, doing the Lord's work. Love it. Okay, moving on. Intersectional, friend of the show, Intersectional. You're not following Intersectional, you are missing out. Has a very weird graphic from a pretend game that says, call the Christian God she, her, and see how fast they care about pronouns.
Right.
It was posted in leftist gamer memes, which I thought was, yeah, she, her. I do remember the first time I ever said it, it was like, if you want to make God laugh, tell her your plans. I remember that.
Yes.
I like that one quite a bit. This was from friend of the show, Jeffrey St. Clair. If you're not following Jeffrey St. Clair, you really are missing out. I'm actually serious this time. I'm not being sarcastic. I know it's confusing. He says, get me a rewrite. Top Gun Maverick is a nominee for the best adapted screenplay, said screenplay adapted from the original Top Gun. He says, do Boeing and the Pentagon get a credit here? And the main adaptation being that the original Top Gun featured an F-14 Tomcat built by Grumman, while Maverick features an FA-18E F Super Hornet built by Boeing. And then friend of the show, Lawrence Libby, comments, well, they couldn't find an F-35 that flew. Oh, yeah, we have. That's the F-35. That's the plane that ate the Pentagon. Google that phrase. Okay, moving on. Friend of the show, Joe Klosik, making the second appearance in the show, says yesterday, 10 people were murdered and 10 others injured during a mass shooting. Tonight, 7 other people were murdered in a mass shooting. Somewhere between those 2 events, 3 people were shot and 2 died. But what is the big evil in America? Oh, drag queens reading to your children and M&Ms that aren't sexy enough for Tucker Carlson. You're like, oh, yeah, those Republicans. But I would remind you that at the same time as all that was going on, the Congress was having hearings about Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Live Nation. You know what I mean? It's just like consumed with trivia. This is a weird one. Just friends of the show. I was hoping that Renee would be on here because she commented on this. I don't know, man, but friend of the show, Woody Page, posted, what would you do? And this is a year ago, January 16th, a year ago. And it's got the red pill and the blue pill from the Matrix. And it says, red pill, restart your life at 6 years of age with all the knowledge you have now. And blue pill, $10 million in cash right now. And I thought it was funny because the first time this went around, I was like, wow, that's a real thinker. You know, would I rather have all my knowledge and be 6? That would be such torture, going through school again. Oh, you know, and then the blue pill, $10 million in cash right now. But then as I thought about it, I was like, no, I know about Apple. Like, are you kidding? Of course, put me back and be 6 years old. Yes, that's fantastic. I'd be the hottest investor in history. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. It was one of those things that seemed really difficult at first, but then afterwards was like, oh, no, not at all. Not at all, actually. I'd like to be a kid. This one, I don't know, it's a weird little 5-panel cartoon from Barry Deutsch back in 2017. And it's just sort of portraying the conservatives again in DC. And he says, we've got nothing against legal immigrants, they say. In 2009, they're like, we don't have anything against illegal immigrants, just illegals. And don't call people illegal, is a response. Then in 2011, we see a woman on the TV. She said, anti-immigrant? That's ridiculous. The GOP has no problem with immigrants who follow the rules. And I've literally heard this before. Then in 2014, we see a guy banging away on a keyboard that says, that's yet another libtard lie that Republicans are anti-immigrant because they want to get illegals out. Then in 2016, it's so unfair to call Republicans anti-immigrant. We're just anti-illegal immigrant. And then literally the very first week of a Republican presidency in 2016, We see a conversation in the White House, and it says, should our new immigration ban also include green card holders who are legal U.S. residents? Hell yeah. It's just a reminder that they're lying and it's all bad. Oh, so many PSAs in this set. I'm so sorry, but every library posts this simple little tidbit that I felt that I should share with you all. Couldn't agree more with school board member Jamie Farrow. Quote, parents make the best decisions for their children. Anybody can call their librarian and say, my child cannot check out that book. If you don't want your kids to have it, parent. That's actually all you have to do. You don't have to get petitions, you don't have to organize anybody, you don't have to show up to school boards. Just make a phone call about your own kid's business. And that's just a thing I thought about. Oh man, too many of these. This is from 2 years ago as well. I'm still waiting for an explanation. Friend of the show, Strand Junker at Strand Junker says, I need someone to explain to me why Al Franken had to resign for a joke he took years before, of joke photo that he took years before he was a senator, but the elected officials who participated in or encouraged the Capitol riots are allowed to stay in government. Explain it to me like I'm in kindergarten. I'm particularly thinking of Jim Jordan, who got denied by the Department of Justice today. So that was anyway. I'm not even going to go into it, which I think is funny. Speaking of that, I missed it now. But you remember, people are always getting ticked off about pronouns. This is a movie poster of They Live, except that it has been redone as They Them. That's right, the John Carpenter movie from 1988, but as as a movie poster here with Roddy Piper with a gun and infamous sunglasses in there, aliens in the background, and it says, "Bro, imagine thinking you're a badass, getting triggered by the pronouns they them." It's a little symbol of LOL. The signs, that are like the subliminal messages say, talk about insecurity. And the bottom quote is, bro, point that angst at systems that are actually oppressing you. Passed along by the meme industrial complex, who captioned it, bro. There's another logo down in the corner, just says, maybe try. Good all around. And my last for this round, you remember how funny it was when all of those Fox News people found out that Biden too had some documents in his garage, and then Pence had some. And this is a picture of the Fox 4 in the morning crew, Ducey and whatnot, with neck braces on all their necks, and it says, headline, whiplash outbreak, Fox hosts injured by sudden reversal after Pence document revelation. Because Fox News' reaction to Mike Pence documents was very different than they were to their Biden documents. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's my big closer. Wrapping it up, back to Michael for your post with the most.
Here comes my post with the most this week. I believe, right, it's another middle class fancy, and this is a picture of a often called a driver's cap, Irish chap.
Yeah.
It says, "This is the hat you buy to let everyone know you're in your late 30s and have been to every brewery in town more than once."
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, TD, what's your post with the most?
All right.
Wait. Hang on. I'm trying.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was going to talk long-winded.
Oh, you're so good.
I know, man. I got you. But yeah, no, my post with the most is very thought-provoking. I took my time in picking my post with the most this week. I curated it and stalling, and I did.
So good.
Thank you. But no, I worked hard finding this meme. But it's hard as Sizemore's working right now.
Too many monitors.
Anyway, but yeah, no, it's a great meme. I'll eventually tell you about it. Memes every day. It says, this week on House Hunters, and it's young couple, probably late 20s, and the man's labeled stay-at-home dad, and woman is labeled resells eggs online. Their budget $3.69 million. This week on House Hunter.
Nice.
That's my post with the most.
Very nice. I actually had a completely statistically improbable tie. I'm going to share them both with you. God, to make you all safer, I've made sure 50% of humanity is alert in the morning and 50% in the evening. Humans will make the other 50% get up in the morning. God, hold on. Humans not getting up at 5 a.m. is a moral failure. God, no, please stop. Humans, society demands it, you bum.
That's pretty good.
And also posted the most, Cohen is a ghost at Skull Mandible posts. Is there anything more capitalist than a peanut with a top hat, cane, and monocle selling you other peanuts to eat?
Yeah.
No, Mr. Peanut, you are the capitalist. Thank you so much. That was my post with the most. And that does a show just shy of 10 p.m. on January 31st, 2023. We love you. Mwah!
Love you, George.
Woo!
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.